Hi, I'm Carlos Pineda from JCETV's BEST program, and we are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. Hispanic Heritage Month is a month to celebrate different cultures and traditions that run all across Central and South America, and even parts of the Caribbean. Join us in celebrating different achievements and traditions. Once again, I'm Carlos Pineda from JCETV's BEST program.
Hello, my name is Jamaal White from JCETV. Each year, Americans observe National Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15th to October 15th. By celebrating the histories, cultures, and contributions of American citizens whose ancestors came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. Day of the Dead, or Dia de los Muertos, is one of the most celebrated holidays in Mexico and has persisted for over 3,000 years, and is even celebrated in the United States. It celebrates the life and death of our loved ones, but not in grief, however, as a commemoration of their lives. Surprisingly, there really isn't a lot of media in relation to the Day of the Dead, and even less about video games. But within the small pool of games related to the Day of the Dead and Mexican folklore, there's one unique gem, and it's called Grim Fandango.
I can consider Grim Fandango as one of my favorite games of all time. And I think about why I love this game so much, and why I really connected with it. It's not nostalgia, because I only played the game 3 years ago, and after I played it, I decided that it was one of my favorites. It's not gameplay, because as a game that came out in 1998, it sure does feel like a game that came out in 1998. With weird, uncomfortable tank controls mixed with confusing and convoluted puzzles, this game has flaws. So why do I love it so much? Is it the story? Yeah, the story is absolutely amazing. Tim Schafer is probably one of the funniest and most creative writers to ever write video games ever. So why do I love Grim Fandango so much? Well, in the realm of video games, there are titles that stand the test of time, not only just for their gameplay or graphics, but their unique ability to transport players into a rich, immersive world. One such game is Grim Fandango. Released in 1998, this classic point-and-click adventure game by LucasArts is not just a masterpiece of storytelling, but also a remarkable celebration of Mexican culture. Grim Fandango's development was led by project leader Tim Schafer, founder of Double Fine Studios and creator of games such as Full Throttle, Brutal Legend, and one of my also personal favorites, Psychonauts. When in the process of developing Full Throttle, Tim also thought of the idea of a Day of the Dead themed inspired adventure game. He submitted both concepts simultaneously to LucasArts for approval. Full Throttle was instead adopted due to its greater mainstream appeal and became a success, which opened the door for Schafer to create Grim Fandango. With inspirations from old noir films like The Maltese Falcon, On the Waterfront, and Casablanca, a retro futuristic aesthetic, and elements of Mexican folklore and the Aztec beliefs in the afterlife, and a beautiful and detailed art and concepts art by Peter Chan and Peter Testicle, Grim Fandango started development in 1995 and released in October 30th, 1998. In Grim Fandango, you play as Manny Calavera, a travel agent and a Grim Reaper for the land of the dead. Manny works in the Department of Death in the city of El Mardo, forced into his job to work off a debt to the powers that be. Him and his co-workers' jobs are to give travel packages to the recently deceased to go to the land of eternal rest. If the person was good in their life, they get premium travel packages to make their journey faster. The fastest is the number 9 express train. This takes you 4 minutes to reach the gate to the 9th underworld. But if you weren't such a good person in your life, you would have to travel the whole 4-year journey on foot. A lot of souls lose hope and get content with their lives in the land of the dead, and live there and get jobs, because even in death, you still have to pay taxes. Manny travels through the whole underworld to find Meche, as he believes that her travel packages to travel on foot through the land of the dead was not deserved, as she was a very good person. Grim Fandango proudly wears his Mexican influence on its sleeve. As you can see, most of the characters are skeletons. You might not think anything of it and just think because they're dead they have to be skeletons. but it's more of the fact that within Mexican culture, the deceased are represented as calaveras and caucus throughout the Day of the Dead celebration. Many of the game's characters have Mexican-inspired names, adding to the depth of cultural representation. Manny Calavera, the protagonist, carries the name that directly references calaveras, the Spanish word for skull. Throughout the game, players encounter various characters and scenarios related to these traditions. The vibrant Day of the Dead celebrations depicted in Grim Fandango are not just visually stunning, but also serve a heartfelt homage to Mexican culture.
I think this game is important to spotlight because it shines a light on Mexican culture and folklore, while also being very well written and visually beautiful. These holidays are important to spotlight in media, not only because it involves these transitions as a gateway for new people to see, but it also gives people who are involved within these cultures already a piece of media that they can resonate and relate to. Representation matters, even if that representation is from a computer game from 1998. My name is Jamaal White from JCETV, and I hope you have a happy Hispanic Heritage Month.